alluding to. And I read quotes, I prayed and I prayed, and I asked others to pray about this short speech. As my classmates know, I'm not shy when it comes to public speaking. And in fact, I have been so long-winded during class presentations, I'm a little surprised that they asked me to speak tonight. But it finally occurred to me as to why it has been so difficult to put this speech together. Besides the fact that I'm married and have 2 small children below the ages of 6, a deacon at my church, I work a full-time job, and I'm taking classes at 2 different institutions. Besides all of that, it's been difficult because I love this program. And I love the people in my cohort. I have been so burdened to say something that will impact their life, something to inspire them tonight, something to challenge them, something to encapsulate our experience. And tonight, I will attempt to do all of those things in 10 short minutes with one question. It's going to be 10 minutes. I timed it. My question to you tonight is, was it worth it? All the reading, the lectures, all the studying, all the papers, discussion posts, videos, and techniques, was it worth it? All the time away from family, those Friday nights, Saturday mornings, when we told our children, our friends, boyfriends and girlfriends, spouses, when we told them, I can't, or I have to go now. The sacrifices we made to come to school, the sleep, the relaxation, the Facebook posts. Well, I guess we didn't sacrifice that. It's an inside joke. We have faced adversity over these past 18 months. We have had differences of opinion with professors. We have had ill feelings towards each other. We've lost things that were dear to us. We've had pain in our lives over these last 18 months. Was it worth it? I cannot answer that question for anyone in this room but myself. But I know this, that one day everyone in this room will face the final pinning ceremony. That is, one day we will all face death. If there's one thing I know for certain, is that everyone in this room will die sometime. And when that time comes, and we're sitting in our rocking chairs or our condos by the beach, however you picture it to be, we will ask ourselves, was it worth it? I want to be sitting in my rocking chair, that condo, and I want to say to myself, Adam, it was worth it. It was worth it. In order for that dream to come true, I urge everyone to decide now, tonight, what you're going to build your life upon, what you're going to place your hope in. There's a parable in Matthew chapter 7, in verses 24 through 7 of the Bible. And Jesus is speaking to a large crowd that included his 12 disciples. And the verses read, everyone who hears the words of mine and does them will be like a wise man who built his house on the rock. And the rain fell, and the floods came, and the winds blew and beat on that house. But it did not fall. But because it had been founded on the rock. And everyone who hears these words of mine and does not do them will be like a foolish man who built his house on sand. And the rain fell, and the floods came, and the winds blew and beat against that house. And it fell. And great was the fall of it. Now I understand that in a crowd this size, that as soon as I said the word Jesus, some of us cringed. And that's okay. I know some of us have been hurt by the church. or we've been hurt by someone that was supposed to love and protect us. Some of us have deep pain, deep sorrow, so many whys, and how could you, directed at God. If no one from the church, if no one who claims to pursue a relationship with God has said this to you before, please allow for me to say it now. I'm sorry that you had to go through that. And I too have been deeply wounded by situations involving the church. And I have been hurt by those who should have loved and supported me. And I hurt for you. And I just invite you to listen to me for these last few minutes with an open heart. So let's imagine for a moment that our lives are the equivalent to building a house. Some of us in this room have already laid a foundation. We put the framing up, put the roof on, the walls, the windows. Some of us have already built our house, while others in this room are beginning the process of living on our own and establishing ourselves. We are in the process of constructing this house of our lives. We are all at different stages, some of us closer to each other than others. Yet no matter where we are in the process of building our home, building our lives, we will still have to face the storm, the pain, the difficulty. And every home begins with a foundation, and so does every human life. And this is what Jesus was referring to when he said, built his house on. When the pain comes, the cancer, the debt, the lies, the anger, the resentment, the divorce. When the temptations come, that business deal that stretches our integrity, the infidelity, the compromise of our ethics as counselors, educators, and business people. The storms, if you will. When the storms of life come, the strength of our foundation will be revealed. The sand foundation refers to things that are temporary, that we would build our lives upon. Someone who builds their life on temporary fulfillment, such as reaching financial stability, being comfortably entertained with the right car, TV, phone, etc. Building our lives on a foundation of what we want. These do not always necessarily have to be bad things, but they are not everlasting. They are not a solid rock foundation. So often I have thought that being morally good is the rock that Jesus was referring to. Unfortunately, just being good is not the rock he is referring to. He is not just saying give to the poor, be faithful to your spouse, be honest in your business deals, and your life will be on a solid rock. While these are principles that Christ teaches, morality and principles and ethics are the framing, the windows, the roof, but they are not the foundation. The rock, or the life that is not destroyed by the storms, is the life that's built on placing their faith in Jesus Christ. Was it worth it? Whether we ask ourselves now, was it worth it to go through all of this, to get a degree? Or we are asking ourselves this question 20 years from now, or 30 years from now. Or some of us who have already built their lives may be asking ourselves this question tonight. In this life, there is only one foundation that provides an everlasting hope. There is only one foundation that can make it through the storms. The jobs we will get will not keep the house up, the salary, the kids, the type of vacation, the picket fence, higher education. The thing that will make this degree, this experience, and the remainder of our lives worth it is who and what we place our faith, our hope, and our purpose in. What we build our foundation on. what we build our lives on makes it worth it. My challenge to everyone tonight is to make your life efforts worth it by building your life on a trusting faith in Jesus Christ. Thank you.